So, in 2022, there are lots of Apple products that you should not waste your money on. The main reason behind this is that they've either been out for a long time and they're just not worth buying, or quite a lot of these products, Apple are probably going to upgrade them in 2022. A good example product to start with is these Airpods Pros that I have right here. And basically, these have been out since the end of 2019. We're talking 2.5 years ago when we go into 2022. So it has been a very, very long time. They are due an upgrade and we're looking forward for them to come. So right now, personally, if you're in the market to get yourself some AirPods, or especially the Pro ones, I would hold out a little bit longer. Don't get me wrong, if you guys have actually got the AirPods Pro at the moment, they are still a great device and you still will get quite a good few years out of these for some years to come before needing to upgrade them to another generation of AirPods. But personally right now, if you're in the market for some AirPods Pros, do not waste your money on these. Another product that I actually want to show you guys is something else not to waste your money on. Something else that's been out for a long time is actually the AirPods 2s. So these came out also in 2019. And yeah, to be honest, we've now got the AirPods free and Apple still continue to sell these. Don't get me wrong, they're really good. They're a really good budget price for what they are. But personally, I wouldn't bother getting them. I would actually spend a little bit more extra money to get the AirPods free because probably Apple will support them for a longer amount of time. And also they are better design, better quality, better sound, better everything in every way. And it's definitely worth spending a bit more money to get the AirPods free over the AirPods 2. The next product not to get is one of these. Well, specifically what I'm going to say one of these is not to get the higher tier Mac Mini. Yes, we do have the M1 Mac Mini right now, and that is absolutely amazing. Definitely get yourself one of these if you want yourself a budget Mac Mini. And that really actually makes a really good point. The M1 Mac Mini is actually more better in its performance and cheaper than the higher tier Intel Mac Minis that are available right now. These higher tier Mac Minis came out in 2018 and they've not really had any upgrades to them. It's been a long time. Now in 2022 we're expecting to get an M1 Pro and M1 Max put inside a brand new design Mac Mini. So right now, personally, I would hold off in getting yourself one of these higher tier Mac Minis. Don't get one, hold out, or if you're really desperate, definitely consider getting yourself the M1 Mac Mini because it's still more powerful than one of these Intel ones that you see right here. Continuing on with Macs, another Mac I wouldn't consider getting is the 27-inch iMac that you can see right here. This is the last iMac that needs a big upgrade and it still has Intel processors inside them. Yes, those Intel processors were updated at the end half of 2020 or summer 2020 time, around about that time, but yet we know we're going to be possibly getting an iMac Pro, or we're going to be getting something just called the 30-inch or 27-inch iMac, and it will have that M1 Pro and M1 Max chipset inside it, and also there is a rumor that we might even get a more powerful chip inside it as well. So definitely consider waiting out for one of these iMacs because the Intel one is definitely not worth getting. We're going to be getting a brand new design, something similar to like what we have with the 24.5-inch M1 iMac, and I would definitely say if you want a larger iMac, just wait out a little bit longer and don't waste your money on getting yourself an Intel iMac. Then there's one more elephant in the room of a Mac. And to be honest, literally it is the elephant in the room. It is the Mac Pro. This super expensive Mac Pro is just not worth buying. You might as well actually buy right now a MacBook Pro with an M1 Max chipset inside it because it will be cheaper and yet it will be more powerful than quite a lot of the Mac Pros that are out there right now, as you can see in these Geekbench scores right here for multi-core. It's just not worth getting one. They're over expensive. Just don't even bother wasting your money on such a machine. However, what we have heard in 2022, we could be getting a smaller Mac Pro, or we could still be getting that larger Mac Pro, but we're going to be getting something extra special put inside it, which going to be even more powerful than the M1 Max chipset that we have out right now. What's the most powerful Apple Silicon chip that Apple creates. So definitely, if you are one of those people who love to have the most powerful Mac ever, yeah, don't waste your money on the Intel version. Wait out a little bit longer because in 2022 we're going to be getting an upgrade to this Mac Pro and it's going to be absolutely awesome. So do wait out for that. Something else what is really awesome, and that is what's going on our channel right now, and it is for this. It's a giveaway for an iPhone 13 Pro Max in this silver white colour and this 256GB model, and I'm going to be giving this away to one lucky subscriber when we get over 350,000 subscribers, and it's not that far away, to be honest. And all I want to know from you guys to be on your hands to get your hands on this iPhone 13 Pro Max is write down in the comments below of what Apple products or what technology products you're planning to buy in 2022. Hopefully you're not going to mention any of the products that I'm mentioning in this video. But the point is, if you want to get your hands on this iPhone 13 Pro Max, make sure you write a comment below, but also at the same time, if you're new here, make sure you also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because I'll be creating a video when we get over 350,000 subscribers announcing who the winner is. Now, just quickly, I do want to mention there are a lot of scammers, there are a lot of spammers out there impersonating me, telling you to Telegram them, to WhatsApp them, that you've won a prize. Ignore them completely. It's not me at all. I will only be telling you when we get over 350,000 subscribers in that video who the winner is of this iPhone 13 Pro Max. With that out of the way, let's talk about the next product you should not waste your money on in 2022. So this next product and the product after, I really cannot see why Apple even sell it today. And the first one is this. This is an iPod Touch, and specifically it's the latest generation. I think it's the 6th generation, and the reason why I'm even confused about which generation we're on is because it's been so long since Apple actually did an upgrade to an iPod Touch. In fact, it's really hard to find the actual iPod Touches on Apple's website, and in fact what I had to do was actually do a search to find it. But Apple, believe it or not, still sell this iPod Touch, and inside it, it's actually only got an A10 chipset inside it. If you guys don't know your difference between your A10 to the A15, basically this is the same chipset. Came out inside the actual iPhone 7. Remember when that came out? The first phone to have dual cameras on the back, or the iPhone 7 Plus? We're talking about that era then. Yeah, Apple still sell these brand new. I don't actually get it. Especially also we have so many iPads now. I just really don't understand why this product actually exists, or if it does exist, why Apple haven't actually done an upgrade to it recently. It could just basically keep the same design, maybe add Touch ID on the bottom, because it doesn't even have Touch ID, it's just got the standard normal button from the likes of, say, an iPhone 5. That's the last time we had that, and yet, you know, I just don't get it at all why Apple sell it. Do not waste your money on this item. It's completely useless, in my opinion, without getting some great upgrades. And sadly, from what we hear, there doesn't seem to be any plans that Apple are going to be upgrading this anytime soon. That leads me on to the next item just not to touch in 2022. And believe it or not, that is the Apple TV HD model. Now the Apple HD model, do not get it confused with the 4K model. Now the 4K model is a great item, and it actually has inside that an A12 chipset inside it. It's quite good, to be honest, in 2022. But the original Apple TV HD actually has an A8 inside it. This is the same chipset we got inside the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus. So we're talking a long time ago. And if you are to buy one of these now, you're not going to get support for many years to come. Well, you'll get a couple more years, but that's it. There's absolutely no point. You might as well spend just a little bit more cash out there to get yourself the 4K model, what comes with a better remote and also is a more powerful box for everything. So definitely consider getting yourself that one, and do not touch the normal Apple HD box instead. The next item, again, really confuses me why Apple still sell it in 2022, and it is this. Just in case you can't really see this, this is the Apple Watch Series 3. Granted, it works, and it also is getting the latest Apple updates, but that's as far as it goes really. This is a really old design Apple Watch, and it has a 32-bit CPU or SiC inside it, and to be honest, I just don't get why Apple actually continue to sell this, especially when we have the likes of the Apple Watch SE, for example. I did think that in 2020, when they announced the Apple Watch SE, that they might continue to sell the Apple Watch 3 for maybe another year, but in 2021 they will retire. But when it came along to when we got the Apple Watch Series 7, no. Apple have decided to keep on selling the Apple Watch Series 3. The Apple Watch Series 3 is quite slow, it's an old design, the battery life is nowhere as good as compared to, say, the Apple Watch SE or newer models. It's just not worth getting in 2022. So again, as much as it has got a nice price tag on it, I would avoid it, spend a little bit more money and get yourself the Apple Watch SE, which is definitely a better Apple Watch. So I've only got 3 more models to moan at, not to buy in 2022, and 2 of them are actually iPhones. The first one is this. It's an iPhone SE. Now the iPhone SE is a great concept and it is a great idea what to get, but personally there is a new iPhone SE coming out in 2022, so I wouldn't probably get yourself one of these right now. I would probably wait out a little bit longer to see what the next generation iPhone SE is all about. Yes, we have had rumours that the next generation iPhone is going to look exactly the same to this one, but we got to see what reviews are going to say, how good battery life is, how good 5G is, because that's what we're also one of the big upgrades we're going to get in the next generation iPhone SE. So personally, I would not waste your money on this iPhone SE right now. I would just wait a little bit longer. With that iPhone out the way, let's talk about the next iPhone. And that iPhone is the iPhone 11. Now the iPhone 11, granted, is still a very good iPhone, and if you own one right now, definitely keep it for a good year or two because it's definitely a great phone. But if you're a person looking for a brand new iPhone, I would not consider getting one of these. It's definitely not worth it. It has an LCD screen on it, for example, what is old technology. iPhone 12s onwards have all OLED displays and they're definitely better and superior. It's just not worth getting yourself an LCD phone. Also, it's also an old design and also has an old A13 chipset inside it that will get some support for a good few years to come, but personally you might as well just spend a little bit more money getting yourself an iPhone 12 in 2022 instead of getting yourself a brand new iPhone 11. Then the final product that I want to talk about, what I would actually say I'm a bit in debate into say to get or to get in 2022, and that is to do with the iPad Air. Now the iPad Air is the only iPad that was not updated in 2021. Every single other iPad got updated. However, the iPad Air did get updated at the end of 2020, so it wasn't that long ago in all things considering, and that's what makes me sit on the fence with this one. There is a new iPad Air coming in 2022, and the big upgrades that will be happening to it most likely is it will get an A15 chipset inside it, 5G capability, and that's if you only pick the cellular version, and also center stage, what is also available on every other iPad apart from this one up to this point. So really, is it big upgrades or is it minor upgrades? Personally, in my opinion, I think they're minor upgrades. So you can see what I'm saying. If 5G is a big thing that you're going to need, and also that you will really need to use center stage, yeah, I would probably wait out a little bit longer to get that iPad Air. If not, I would sit and probably, I'd actually possibly consider getting the current iPad Air because it's still a great iPad. It's got the A14 chipset inside it. This next iPad Air will have the A15 chipset inside it. And if you've looked at Geekbench scores, you can see that A14 to A15, there's only around about a 10 to 15% difference in performance. It's going to be hardly noticeable. So do have a good think about if you do want to get yourself the next generation iPad Air over the current one that is available right now. Well guys, that's all the products that I would say not to probably get in 2022 and not to waste your money on. Let me know your thoughts, and if you think there's any other products that I've missed out that you shouldn't get in 2022, put them down in the comments below. Well, it's time to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it guys, please do press the like button, and also at the same time as well, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, please also make sure you hit that subscribe button followed by the notification bell. Until next time guys, I will see you really soon. Bye bye.